WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. This is the second time I have the three products from the Turntable Spirits company, and this is now their core range. We have here the Paradise Funk. They're all blended Scotch, which means malted single malt and grain. We have here the Bittersweet Symphony. Now the Bittersweet Symphony is more or less their sherry version. The Paradise Funk is more or less their virgin oak Chinkapin bourbon oak version, and this is their smoking riff, and you can guess it's more or less their smoky peated variant. So what am I going to do is there is actually for each and every one of these a corresponding 2023 limited edition release, and I'll just compare the two each time. So I'm going to have 6 whiskeys in this video, so don't be surprised if it's a little bit longer. Now, the Turntable story says, our story starts with 2 brothers, and the brothers' names are here Alistair, they call him Ali, and Gordon Stevenson. And they have over 20 years of experience in the spirits industries. They have a serious level whiskey and are backing track of creativity and a backing track of creativity with over 20 years experience between us. It was time to carve our own path together, to flip the record on ordinary and create a new generation of blended Scotch malt. No shortcuts, no limits. I'm going to disagree with the fact about shortcuts. I think they used very young whiskey in here, and I think they have only finished the whiskeys in the cask they say they have, and they're not full maturation. I don't have any single evidence of that except for my tongue. All right, so for example, in our Paradise Funk, we have first fill bourbon barrels, virgin oak barrels, Chinkapin barrels, and cognac. Ex-cognac barrels. 4 different types of barrels in here. All right, non-chilled filtered, yay. Natural color, yay. 46%, yay. And over here in Germany, 55 euros. There was one online retailer that said, recommended retail price 55 or to 54.90. Already discounted to 49.90, 9% discount, and it's not even in stock yet. We can pre-order it. That never happens in Germany. They are expecting this. They're just undercutting each other. The limited releases are still there. This should be their core range, so it should always be there. Now, if you go to the website, turntablespirits.com, you will actually be able then to go to the Paradise Funk, our whiskeys Paradise Funk, and you can see actually the blend breakdown, which I think is fabulous. All right, so I'm going to have to describe this because there are 6 different products in there. There's only 4 different types of cask, but 6 different products. All right, what do we have? I'm going to just first of all name the malts. All right, so Knockdhu is here with virgin oak, 13%. So we have an unnamed Speyside virgin oak barrel with 30%. So 43% is virgin oak here. All right, we have 20% of Benrinnes Chinkapin barrel. So, and we also have from Blair Athol 8% of a bourbon barrel. Whew. All right, so then we have 2 grain whiskeys. We have a North British virgin oak barrel as well, 11%. And we have the Invergordon 18% ex-cognac barrel. All right, so we have 29% grain. We have 71% then malted, single malt here in this. All right, if I go over here to my turntable track number 1, we have Joy, Discovery, and Innovation. And this is whiskey base 230179. Didn't even give you the whiskey base number here for this. For our Paradise Funk, that is going to be 238038. So 50 euros, 70 euros, roundabout. And if we have the Paradise Funk, we are going to have, the Joy, Discovery, and the Invention. I really like the nose on this. We have 40% Linkwood in a virgin oak barrel. We have 17% Knockdhu, Chinkapin. And then we have the rest is grain. So it's 43% grain, 57% malt here. Girvan ex-wine, ex-red wine barrel, 24%. Strathclyde ex-cognac barrel. So cognac, cognac. Virgin oak, Chinkapin, Chinkapin. Red wine, no red wine. All right, so that's kind of interesting how they do that. All right, so on the nose, the track 1 wins. It's got more of a spice, a cinnamon. This is also not bad. It has more vanilla, more of a oaky moment. The official notes here are funky yet delicate duo bursts with exotic flavors, a harmony of caramelized pineapple, which I don't have, smooth vanilla, and sweet toffee. If I go over here to our Joy, Discovery, Invention, this high energy sun-kissed drop is a bursting bouquet of tropical fruits. Suits long days, summer days, or when needed, conjures them instead. Vanilla, toffee, summer fruits, and pineapple. Over here, the note says here, a funky yet delicate duo, caramelized pineapple, smooth vanilla, sweet toffee. You notice a certain repetition there, all right? So almost every one of these, the core range is going to be weaker than the limited edition. Well done. Yeah, I think, I'm sorry to say this, this was bottled in April 2023. This was bottled at the very end, the 31st of July 2023. I think they're learning. I think there's a learning curve going on here. I don't think that necessarily in the 6 months between them, or even 4 months, they suddenly got their hands on such better stock. I just think they actually learned a little bit of how to tickle a little bit of that goodness out of those casks that they had available. Might be wrong. All right, over here, the Paradise Funk. It's young, it bites, it's metallic, it's sharp, it's not what I want to drink. And that really, really disappoints me. When I put water in this, I take it down from the 46% down to 42%, 41%. Heartburn. It just burns all the way down. It's not the Kentucky Hug. It's that's young, bitter, not bitter, sharp stuff. 42, 41%, it turns into something a little bit creamy, a little bit vanilla, a little bit more of a caramel toffee moment. I love 46% non-chilled filtered, and yet I hate it when the whiskey's not there yet. Imagine they would have put this out at 42%, hopefully not chill filtered it, but it made it got hazy in the wintertime, and then no one wants a hazy whiskey, a cloudy whiskey. And then the customers wouldn't have wanted it either. So it's one of those, the cat bites itself in the tail moment. This is almost a C whiskey with water at 42%. Without the water, it's actually a C minus D plus whiskey. Value for money, D. I would not pay 50 euros for this. The track number 1. Much better. The Chinkapin really comes through, which I'm not sure if I love, but it's there. And the red wine, that Chinkapin red wine moment is there. I don't know if I get the cognac in either of these, but it just might be me. Cognac is not something that jumps out at you. Red wine jumps out at you. Chinkapin jumps out at me. This is the much qualitativa, better whiskey here. So this is a C to C minus. With water, it gets a little bit better. Value for money, D as well. I would not pay 75 euros for this. The entire range, if someone had asked me after tasting all these, what would I be willing to pay? Core range, 35 euros. The limited edition, 50 euros. That would have been my price point. Now, the boxes show that I am not the target audience. This is for people that are younger, that have money, that say, oh, I'm going to buy something, what great. Okay, let's move on now over to our next bottle. Let's make sure I get the right one. I need to have the Bittersweet Symphony. So here we have a new glass. Here we have the Pardon, the comparative to that, the Turntable track number 3, Purple Haze. I must really admit it bothers me that in the core range they have the bourbon, then they have the sherry, and then at the end they have the peat, as I would expect. But with the 2023 limited releases, they have the bourbon, or Chinkapin or virgin oak, however you want to say. Then they have the peated, and then they have the sherry monster, let's call it that. It just says track 3, so Purple Haze. All right, so we can actually talk here a little bit about the cask compositions. On the back, we can read here that we only have 3 different types of casks in our Bittersweet Symphony. We have first fill Oloroso sherry butts. We have first fill Pedro Ximénez sherry butts, and we have virgin oak barrels. So, but if we look at the cask breakdown, we're going to see that there's a little bit more of a complexity with our Bittersweet Symphony. In our Bittersweet Symphony, we have, let's go here to Craigellachie. We have 43% Craigellachie, but 22% of it is in Pedro Ximénez Puncheons, and 21% is Oloroso. Now, we also have von Balmenach, which is a single malt distillery. Pedro Ximénez Puncheon, 21%, and we have virgin oak from Blair, Athol, 17%, and the 19% of the single grain is from North British in virgin oak as well. So we have 19% grain, we have 81% malt here, which might be a nice thing. And we have 3 different types, 3 different types of spirit that were in sherry and 2 that were in virgin oak. If we go over here to our Purple Haze, it's a little bit easier. 42% Craigellachie, but it's all in Oloroso. Instead, they take 44% of the Balmenach and Pedro Ximénez, so the sherry, the PX and the Oloroso mix like here. And the Invergordon is ex-sherry barrels as well, 14% only. So it's all sherry, which I really, really like, all right? So this is 74 euros 90. Let's put this over here so you can actually see the bottle again. If you go up here, if you look at the Glendronach 15, it's also a mix of Pedro Ximénez and Oloroso sherry. What does it cost? 74.90. What does this cost? 74.90. What would I rather have? Of course, the Glendronach. This is playing in a league where it does not belong. Is it a good whiskey? Yes. Is it a very good whiskey? No. And Glendronach 15 is certainly a very good whiskey. It was Roy's Aquavita's Whiskey of the Year once, a long time ago, but hey, it was still the best whiskey I had that the whole year that he could recommend. All right, going back to our Bittersweet Symphony. I just find bittersweet a stupid name for a whiskey. Why would I want bitter? Now on the nose, there's a little bit of a barrel char moment. There's a lot of oak, virgin oak going on here, and a little bit of a, I'm going to say an artificial type of sherry moment. A little bit artificial sweetener with sherry. Over here, the Purple Haze has a very nice nose. Wow. Herbal. Dried fruits. That's getting there. All right. Bittersweet Symphony. Better than the Paradise Funk. I do like a good sherry whiskey, I must admit. The grain is still evident, the youth is still evident, but not as extreme as in the Paradise Funk. Here we have the tasting notes of the smoothly decadent number shimmers with fiery sweetness and bold malt character, enabling us ending on a flourish of dark chocolate and dried fruits. Okay. And our purple haze should be this full body dram is irresistible, bright berries with a dark chocolate smile. It lingers like toffee, and its cinnamoniness makes it all things dessert. Dark chocolate, berries, toffee, and cinnamon. All right, let's try this instead. This is almost a C. This has a little bit more depth, complexity, age. There's still a sharpness of the grain, but just in the youth, just a little bit. But there's a darkness. There's a dark chocolateness. There's a, as if almost a European oak moment could be there. I do like this a lot. Is it worth the 75 euros? No, but it's still interesting. This is a C, maybe on a good day a C+. This is going to be a C, on a bad day a C-. All right, so, and last but not least, yes, it's a long video, but I didn't want to do 3 separate videos, so sorry. If someone's looking for this, they'll find that instead. All right, we're going to go over to the peated whiskies, and if anyone knows me, you know that I am not the peat head. So, yep, this is going to be my track number 2, the fire starter, and this is going to be my smoking Riff. I think new Riff might want to talk to them. I don't know if there's any conflict of interest there, but who knows? A blended Scotch whiskey. On the back it says we have 5 different barrels this time. First fill bourbon barrels. Sorry, 4 different barrels. First fill sherry, Pedro Ximénez sherry butts goes on at the second line. Virgin oak barrels and the red wine. All right, now sherry can sometimes be very, very nice when it's young. Not sherry, the sherried peated whiskies can be very, very nice when they're young. That's what I wanted to say. I'll get there one day. Now, I was surprised. I've already done all 3 of these in my German video. I did 3 individual videos in German. I'm only doing 1 in English. And this was actually my favorite. What's going on? So, not normal for Jason. Now, our smoking Riff has a very, very interesting composition, and especially compared to our fire starter, because the fire starter is primarily Caol. So we have in the fire starter, we have 40% Caol from oak barrels. It's interesting. Everywhere they say virgin oak, they say bourbon, they say first fill bourbon, they say Chinkapin, they say all these different types, and here we have 40% oak. And it's supposed to give campfire smoke. Then we actually have 22% of Benrinnes Chinkapin. And then the rest, here we only have 62% malt, and the rest, 38% is going to be our grain. 23 of it's Cavenbridge virgin oak barrels, and 15 is going to be our virgin oak barrels from Invergordon. So we have a lot of virgin oak going on in here. Over here, it's a different composition because the lead malt is not Caol. The lead malt is Craigellachie. Craigellachie Pedro Ximénez puncheons for 24%. And then we have Knockdhu Pedro Ximénez puncheon with 21%. So 45% of this whiskey is non-peated. And it's sherry. And then we have 18% Caol from bourbon barrels, and another 9% from the red wine from Caol. So if I add them up, I am going to get 27%. So Caol would be the lead malt, yes. But individually not. The red wine and the bourbon changes it. All right, good. And 28% is Northern British or North British virgin oak. So we only have the grain that was finished. I'm going to use the word finish all the time. I have no other information, but my tongue says these are finished products and not full maturation. Virgin oak. All right. On the nose, I like this. The smoke, the peat is subtle. It's in the background. It's there, but it's not in your face. There's a fruitiness going on here. That is very, very interesting. I like. The fire starter, it's less. There's more of a vanilla citrus moment going on here. And here it's more of a fruit moment. All right, a little bit of water. As I said, the smoke is not evident on the nose. It's there, but it's not in your face. When we taste it, now is when that campfire smoke comes, very nicely integrated. If you like that note, that's going to be good. This is a fruity, smoky goodness. This is actually my favorite whiskey of the three, which I would never have thought. In my order, Smoking Riff, then our Bittersweet Symphony, and the one I did not like, it was just way too young, is the Paradise Funk. This is very good. Do not put water in it. Water doesn't really do it any good. It turns it into a little bit of the malt. Sorry, the peat becomes a little bit of a rubbery type of smoky plastic moment. Don't need that. This is perfectly balanced, very, very well done. I think I can even get the red wine a tiny little bit there. The Pedro Ximénez, the red wine, and a little bit of the virgin oak just complement each other very, very nicely. This, if I may say so, is of the 6 I tried from the Turntable collection, the one that actually showcases the mastery of blending the most. At least I think so. Good. Going over the fire starter. And this is the only product where I think as well the core range beats than the 2023 limited editions. There's a little bit more barley sugar at the beginning, and then that peat comes in a little bit stronger. There's more of a sea breeze moment going on here. There's a little bit of that here, but it's much stronger. The Caol, 40% actually here is more dominant than, of course, than the 27% of the Caol here. You notice I like this. I think I would like to blend with Caol and make my perfect blend, and it would be fun, maybe similar to this. This is still, the Caol is more dominant. Is it bad? No. Is this better? Yes, in my opinion. Now, the die-hard Islay peat head is going to say, Jason, there's hardly any peat in there. It's enough for me. All right, here, they really did a nice job of integrating that red wine, that Pedro Ximénez, that virgin oak. C, on a good day, C+. Here, standard C. Value for money, I'm going to actually give this a C-. All right? So I would almost be willing for, as a peat head, as someone who was looking for something, willing to pay almost 50 euros for this. So I'm going to give it a solid C. C- was a little too hard, C. Over here, the 75 euros for this, no. C-, D++. That's that. So, my question of the day is, what is the newest independent bottler you have heard of recently? I'm part of the online Scotch Whisky online Scotch Whisky Awards with Roy and Ralphie. I'm one of the contributors. I'm only in round 2 this time. I don't get to recommend all the different products. I get to actually filter a little bit and make it a little bit more concise, and that's actually very, very cool. And I must admit that this there were the best independent bottlers as one of the categories. Like, I didn't know one of those. It's like, who? So please write down below, what are your recommendations? Jason, have you heard of this new independent bottler? Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing. Put this out of the way here, as I've said, but I would like to show you. This is actually the winner here with my Smoking Riff. First place, amazing. Second place is going to be my Bittersweet Symphony. And third place, which I cannot really recommend, is the Paradise Funk. So, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much for watching. See you very soon. Whiskey Jason here. All the best. Bye-bye.